Hey y'all, it's Maddie Luna again. Oh, what a day, what a day. I've been doing okay today. My mood is flagging a little bit. It's actually 11:11 at night right now. I made a wish, yeah. I did make a wish today. Um, but, I'm just kind of not feeling too well. I was actually considering not doing a daily draw tonight, because I just kind of was like, oh, I don't really feel like it. I'm not really in the mood. I feel kind of sad. But then I thought to myself, just so you know I'm still here. I thought to myself, first of all, there's some people who say that, if you consider drawing to be a job, then it's something that you ought to show up to every single day, You don't just stop doing your job because you feel bad. You sit down and you do it. And there's some truth in that. Certainly, you go to school even if you don't feel well. You go to your work even if you don't feel well, because you have to. But also at the same time, if you have the luxury of doing things as a hobby, then I'm not sure if it should be held up to such stringent qualifications. But also, I was thinking about it, and I realized that even just sitting down and kind of getting it out would probably help me and make me feel better. I know I haven't actually drawn anything yet, and I'm like almost 2 minutes in. But first of all, I don't really know what to draw, and second of all, I think talking about it is what I really need right now. So that's good anyway. But so how do I feel about that piece of advice? I don't know, honestly. Like, it's kind of daunting. I don't have a very strong work ethic. I really don't. I don't really get discouraged easily, but I do get distracted easily, and if something doesn't go very easily to me, then I tend to put it off and do other things instead, because, it's not like I have nothing to do all day. At the very least, just keeping up with housework is enough to drive me batty. So if I ever feel like I'm not really in the mood to write or draw or anything, then there's always something that I can point to and go, oh, well, I ought to be doing that instead. The solution for this is probably to actually make myself a schedule. I don't know if that's coming up. It just says schedule. I should probably just really sit down and make myself a schedule to follow every day, and I tried to do that, but it is very hard for me to stick to that kind of thing. But anyway, I'm here to draw. I'm here to draw, and to talk, and to chew bubblegum, but I don't want to chew bubblegum while I'm on air. So, it turns out I do have some water after all. This is just a little water brush thing. It's really, really handy, actually. You screw this off and you fill it with water, and then it works as a brush. So I'm going to show off these Caran d'Ache crayons I got, because I mentioned them last time. I also have some Derwent Inktense color pencils, which are similar, but they're pencils instead of crayons. I'm really into water-soluble media, and I get some of these as presents. I buy some of them myself. By the way, it turns out these things are available for $23 on Amazon. I paid $40 for them in New York. Don't do that. Don't, stupid brick and mortar stores. Anyway, let's see what to draw. Well, I guess I may as well start with this color combination I chose, which is kind of a rosy pink, purple, and kind of an indigo. I'm not sure what the actual names are, but I really like that color combination. It resonates with me a lot, and the reason it does is because I played a lot of Kirby's Adventure when I was a kid, and if you will remember, in the last part of Kirby's Adventure, you are falling down and fighting Nightmare in the Nightmare Ball through the sky. and Kirby is there as well, but I'm not going to draw him right now. And the background is beautiful. It's got these, it's got a combination of black and purple and cream, but I believe at a certain point, I think maybe just in the Fountain of Dreams part, it goes into this beautiful, there we go, I'll move this a little bit. This beautiful pink as well. And things, and you know, just a little hint about light, quality of light in the sky. Things get lighter as they progress more towards the horizon. So I don't know, let's just say this, a horizon or something. Kind of put it down real, kind of lightly. You can probably afford to go. I haven't really figured out the best way to use these yet. I'm still heavily experimenting with them. I find that using them fairly lightly and layering them over one another like this tends to work pretty well. This is the same way I use watercolor pencils and other things of that ilk. By the way, I saw Wreck-It Ralph for the third time today, and I believe it was the last showing in my zip code for like ever, so my soul can finally rest in peace. Praise God. Now I can stop talking about it until the DVD comes out. Ho ho ho. I hope this shows up okay on the video. I know that grainy media tends to not show up as well. Anyway, so this part where it blends might actually show up as darker than the rest. Let's see. I know my hand tends to get in the way of things when I draw, but that's just the way I am. There we go. That should give us a little room to, let's see. Oh my, yes, look at how dark this is. And so you can see that, let's take just these colors straight up, for instance. If you lay them down pretty quickly like this, they blend really well. I believe that these blend extremely well, especially if you use them in a more saturated way. I'm putting them down pretty lightly over here because things tend to darken when you use water over them. Or they tend to become more saturated and whatnot. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, this transition up here is not as great as it could be. If I were using a regular brush loaded with water as opposed to a water brush, which continuously has water in it, it would probably look a little nicer as well. But I think it looks pretty good so far. And you can see when you use even more water on top, when you really work it in, the crayon grain almost disappears. see, do I have, let's try this. Let's see. Let's say if you charge this with water, if I had any water jars on me, I would just do that. Oh no, that doesn't even work very well at all. No. So anyway, it goes down pretty smooth. As far as most water-soluble media I've used that aren't actual watercolor paint, this is probably the smoothest I've seen. And if you use it over here, just put it on the bottom half right here. There we go. That gives you a lot of color to work with. That is very saturated. Way more saturated than it is over here. So, yeah, that's a little brief explanation about watercolor crayons. These are my Inktense pencils, and I just kind of want to, like, I don't know, give a little color to the clouds. Nothing really special. Just want to mess with them a little bit. One of the nice things about doing a daily draw is that I could force myself to do more landscapes and stuff. I mean, incredibly simple though they are. My dad really likes landscapes, and sometimes he's like, oh, why don't you do more landscapes? And I'm like, well, I mean, that doesn't really interest me very much. But, you know, there are some environments that really capture my attention. A lot of my dreams tend to center around settings and places, and as a matter of fact, so do the things I write. I'm really into describing areas and the feelings they evoke in someone. But like in terms of realistic landscapes and things like that, in terms of highly realistic oil paintings and some such, you know, that's like the least interesting thing to me. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know, I just figured I would fill this in since it seemed a little lonely. That's not what Kirby looks like. First you draw a circle, then you dot the eyes. Then a smile. And hey presto, it's curvy. That's not actually curvy. Okay, I'm starting to like drift off to sleep. I am exhausted after today. But thank you for joining me. You guys have a nice night.